Yo, what's up, guys? We're back at it with another gem-packed episode of Hashtag Focus Fridays. Yeah. We're back at it after a 1 month break. We're back with another episode of Hashtag Focus Friday. If you're a returning subscriber, shout out to you. You're really a real one. Much love. Hope you enjoy the content as much as you've been enjoying the other episodes. It almost feels as if I'm new to this, But yeah, man. Shout out to you if you're a returning subscriber. If you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, shout out to you as well. It's just that there's just a little red button that I feel like you need to click as I'm wearing red. The red is for you clicking that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell so you get notified next time we drop another episode. Because we're going to be doing this weekly. Due to some technical difficulties, I'm not usually rolling alone. I'm usually rolling with Londi, but due to some technical difficulties that had to be taken care of, obviously I had to do this show alone today. But anyway, without any further ado, I'd like to get into the episode. It should be a good one as well. But first order of business, I guess. I think I'd like to talk about Mad Uno, or that boy Uno, who's a DJ basically in the country, and he's been a good DJ. I think first time I've ever heard of the guy was when obviously all the lineups, you see the lineups and you're like, that's how I actually got to know him. Seeing all the lineups, seeing how he produces his music, and seeing everything like that, it's like, okay, yeah, he's quite a good person, and looking at all that, obviously all those factors that are in play, I actually looked at his Instagram profile before this, and I'm just like looking at that, I'm just wow, I was really amazed, especially when I gave him a follow not so long ago. I was like really amazed and really happy about the fact that his management actually looks to be doing a good job on him. His profile is very clean, it's very nice, it's very interesting, and obviously I guess that's the reason why he had to be on many lineups, you know what I mean. But anyway, with all that being said, he's a very punchy artist, a very good artist, especially when I listened to his latest release, which was the Ace Nevev or Ace Plus Vev or something like that. Really good track. It's a piano track. Look, if you really want to dance, better get down to that song, and better listen to it. It's a really good song, And initially, you look at that song. It's a very good song, very good production. I'm a piano listener, for those who know, but a very good song, obviously, because it's a song that you get down to like literally listening to every time you feel good, every time you want a little pick me up. It's a really good song, really. So really, I'd like to commend his management, for doing a great job on that. A really good song, like a very good song, honestly speaking. So honestly speaking, it's a really dope song. Honestly, I really wish I'd had Lundi tell me about what he thinks about the song, but honestly, we hope that technical difficulties will get taken care of eventually. But initially, not shying away from all the fact that his management actually did a good job on him. Can't wait to see what he's releasing next, really. And yeah, man, looks like a very good DJ with good potential. One day, actually do hope that I want to see him play, maybe, maybe see him play one time or something like that, and then, maybe everything will get taken care of then. But as for now, man, very good DJ, shout out to that Uno, Mad Uno. If you don't know him, better check him out. It's a really good track, that one, Ace Plus Vev. It's out now, no streaming platforms, a really good song. So yeah. Moving right along, I'd like to talk about the elephant in the room, Okay, but basically there are two elephants in the room this week. Obviously we've in the past few weeks we've seen the little tiff between Lucas Raps and A Reese, and I finally get to say my piece on that. Especially when I saw A Reese's tweet on Twitter, and I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy. He said I think he's the dopest rapper in Africa. Those were not his exact words. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically he said he's the best rapper in Africa, right? And before I get into what Lucas Raps had to say about that, Honestly speaking, I don't think that's true. You know, because you look at all the legends, man. You look at people like Pro Kid. I mean, rest in peace to Pro Kid. You look at people like Ken, aka, you look at Casper. Even I may not like him on a personal note, but you look at all those people. Do you think A Reese would be able to go toe to toe with aka? You know what I mean? Do you think A Reese would be able to? Would be able to even go toe to toe with the Big Hash? And Big Hash, a very, very good rapper. Like, he's a very good artist. Not even a rapper, he's a very good artist. So, in my sense, when I saw that tweet, I was like, I don't think that's true. I was like, nah, I don't really think that's true, because that's like saying you're like doper than AKA, you're doper than Big Hash. You're like the biggest thing ever, and you're like, nah, bro. Like, in my sense, I was like, I don't think A Reese has the ability to go against most of the rappers in South Africa. I mean, he can go against Lucas Raps, because I best believe that between A Reese and Lucas Raps, I think A Reese is the king in that sense, because I think when A Reese wrote a sort of reply, I'm not gonna say it's a reply, it's an alleged reply to Lucas Raps. He wrote something about, or he said something about, you kids took my style and you're trying to make it better. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. When I listened to Lucas Raps' little reply to what A Reese said on that tweet, I was like, sort of like, before even A Reese mentioned it, I actually noticed that it's like they're taking A Reese's style in some sense, because that's like A Reese type of style, like A Reese raps like that, and nobody can rap like A Reese. Best believe, nobody can rap like A Reese, but I still don't think that he has the ability to go toe to toe with the kings in the game. I mean, you still got KO, you still got people like Reason, these are the OGs in the game. You know what I mean? So does he have the ability to go against the OGs in the game, A Reese? No, I don't think so. As well as Lucas Raps. I mean, all of them still have a long way to go, and I don't think they have the ability to go against the kings in the game right now. You know what I mean? So in that sense, I'm standing here and I'm just like, no, man, no, you can't do that. You just can't do that. But initially, that's why I say eventually we don't know. You guys will let me know if I'm right or wrong in the comment section, but initially, I don't think A Reese has that ability, in as much as obviously we all know nobody can rap like A Reese. Nobody can articulate art the way A Reese does it, So in that sense, I'm going to give it to Reese. I'm going to say, well, yeah, in that sense, nobody can rap like Reese. But in the sense of being the best rapper in Africa, ish. Bit of a sticky one still. But you guys will let me know what are your thoughts on that one, Initially, I think I'd like to get to the second elephant in the room, browsing through quite quickly here, which is basically Drake's album. Hey man, hey man, initially I'd like to basically, before anything else, I'd like to shout out to Black Coffee, for actually having himself being a producer in some of the songs in Drake's album, and that's really dope. I mean, that's black excellence right there. That's African excellence, So nobody can just see themselves producing songs in Drake's album, it's not an everyday thing, But initially, I'd like to shout out to Black Coffee for that. And yeah, man, big ups to him, kudos to him. But initially, getting to that elephant in the room, it's like, honestly speaking, I had a listen at Drake's album, obviously, and I was like, ish, something's missing, I'm a Drake fan. Like, I'm a person who usually looks at my Spotify stats, like usually, like, who's the artist that I listen to the most, which song am I listening to the most these days, all of that, I'm a person who always look at those stats on Spotify, and the person I listen to the most all time is Drake, right? But this time around, everybody knows there's a big hype around when Drake releases something. Like when Drake releases something, the whole world has an earthquake. So initially when Drake does that, everybody is talking, everybody is moving. I'm not seeing much of that right now, because of what I'm about to say. I think about the album, I didn't get to listen to the whole album, and initially I already think I have a favorite song. I think it's called Massive. Really, it's actually a nice song. It's a song that I like. Okay, yeah, it's a it's a steady song. It's a song that keeps you on the ground, right? And initially you're just like, okay, that's a really dope song, but is the song dope because Drake's in it or because of Black Coffee's production? That's the question that I asked myself not so long from now, And I was like, I'm not so sure anymore, because it's like, it's a really nice song. It's a really nice album. Some of the songs are really nice on the album as well. Don't get me wrong, but it's like there's some sort of disconnect between Drake's vocals or Drake's input on all the songs or on the songs that I've listened to so far, right? And it's like every time the beat just plays alone, I enjoy it more. But every time then Drake gets on it, I'm like, it's like he's in Heartbreak Hotel. It's not a wrong thing to be in Heartbreak Hotel, but remember, do know how to articulate what you're trying to do, right? And you're like, I'm not really sure, I'm not sure about it, because it's a really dope project, don't get me wrong, but initially I feel like it's only dope because of Black Coffee's production. You're gonna smear me all you want, guys, but it's basically the truth. It's my truth, in fact, because it's like really nice album, really nice song, even Massive, my favorite song so far. It's a really nice song, but again, I ask myself, is it the production or is it Drake's input or is it both? And I feel like I'm literally shifting more onto the production side of things, right? And I'm like, okay, it's a really nice song, but you know what I mean? But anyway, let's not shy away from the fact that it's still Drake, but initially I don't think Drake is going to be able to get away with most of these slip ups, if I would call it a slip up, because for me, when I listen to Drake's music, it's like I get a certain feeling, like I'm like there's a certain change in the weather, besides the fact that the whole world is shaking that Drake just released an album, but as soon as you listen to the first song of Drake's best album, you're like, okay, we're back at it again. It's Drake's season, but this time around, I don't think it's Drake's season, solely because I think he's not at the Drake that we all know, you know what I mean? With his previous project, that Dark Lane demo tapes, I think, if I stand to be corrected, if that was the last project or not, but that one, it wasn't so good. It wasn't at Drake potential as well, but I love that album, I mean, was it a mixtape? I think it was a mixtape. It was a mixtape. I love that mixtape. I really liked how he produced everything. I liked how he did it. And some of the songs, most of the songs, in fact, I loved them, and it was Drake's season at that time, and you're like, yeah, Drake's season, everybody, Drake is back, so initially you're like, okay, yeah, you have songs like that were really dope, that were really good, you have mixtapes like that were really good, and you'd expect this latest project to be as good as the others, and in fact, if not better than the others, and that's where I think he fumbled the bag, because he was nowhere near being the Drake that we all know from all the previous projects. I mean, if you're reading this, it's too late Drake. We're talking about It Was Never the Same, we're talking about all those projects, right? We're talking about Take Care, we're talking about all those projects, and you're like, those were dope projects. Like, those are projects that you're like, kudos, But this one, damn, something's missing. So initially, I'd like to shout out for Black Coffee for actually bringing me one of my favorite songs, at least, But initially, the project as a whole itself, it's like I'm not really sure about it at this point in time, But initially, I just shout out to Drake for that. And yeah, shout out to Black Coffee for being on Drake's album, and it's not everything that happens every day. I think Black Coffee is basically the stepping stone of the industry. Right now, I think in Africa, literally, Black Coffee and Uncle Waffles are like literally at the top tier type of place where you're just literally being a stepping stone of unachieved goals. Number one, and two, it's just overly growing yourself in that sense, and you're just like, wow, that's really dope seeing something like that, and yeah, man, shout out to them, shout out to the both of them, and yeah, initially, really dope project. Shout out to Black Coffee. I don't think I want to while away time talking about how dope the project was, yada yada yada, boo ba ba. You guys go listen to that album. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If there's anything to add that I didn't talk about, talk about it. I'm still gonna listen to the rest of the project, but so far, not so impressed. Initially, I'd like to also get a little bit of a clearance statement here, or basically just talk about what people basically are saying about Uncle Waffle's management and possibly being exploited, and really sad, if that were to be true. It's alleged that Uncle Waffles is being exploited by her management. As we all know, Uncle Waffles is managed by Creative Corner, who Zeus Omega and Kai as well. And initially, what I think about that, if that's true, obviously, I don't think I'd be surprised. And honestly speaking, we all wouldn't be surprised, in fact, because we've seen a lot of these things happen. We've seen a lot of them happen, especially in South Africa. It's like really common for this to happen at the same time. That's why it's like, I feel like most artists need to keep, tabs and eyes on their music, because basically what artists are not doing these days is like, they're not treating their music like it's a music business. You know what I mean? So initially, you don't understand why these things keep on happening, but I start to feel like why these things actually happen. Let's take away the allegations against Uncle Waffles. Shout out to her for getting the deal with Hyundai. That's really dope. Black excellence. She's getting the bag and everything like that. That's kudos to her. But the allegations, that's not what we're here for. But what we're here for is literally exactly why artists keep getting exploited, right? And I'm like, the reason why artists keep getting exploited is because they're not paying attention to the business around the making of the music. You look at the production of music, you look at everything else. You produce music, very nice, music is good, everything is good, everyone receives your music very well. But then the flops, then they begin there by management, where you're just like, what's happening here? You know what I mean? You're like, okay, what's really happening here? Because you're like, you have a manager, you have a booking agent, or you have a manager who does bookings for you as well, and you're like, you have to trust that person with every single cent that you get. You have to trust that person with the money you get from bookings. You have to trust that person with the royalties you get from streaming platforms, and the royalties you get from the royalty societies, from Sambro, and so on and so on and so on. And you go on in this, and I've been doing some research on the music business, and initially what I realized is that most artists do not know that they can get money from their music just being played anyway. Even if I play your music right now, you don't know that you can get money from that. Because there's a reason why most YouTubers are not allowed to play music on YouTube. Because you're going to play music on YouTube, there's going to be a royalty society who's going to claim that music and say, why are you playing the music? We need the money from that music. That's why there are copyright strikes on YouTube. And then, I had the same struggle not so long ago with YouTube as well. And initially, that's why these copyright strikes are there, because you're playing music that the artist should be getting money from. And if they're not getting money from that, it's a strike. That's why your video won't get money on YouTube, because initially you're playing an artist's music who he should be getting money from each and every play, be it radio play, TV play, played at gigs, played at spots, at clubs, or whatever, wherever the music is played, he should be getting money from that. And if he isn't getting money from that, then there begins a problem. You know what I mean? So initially, I'm like, that's really good. At the same time, it's not a good thing for an artist not to actually know about all these things, the music business, and how they can actually make money out of these things are all out there. Everything is all online. You can register online with Samro, you can register online with Risa, and all these other royalty societies, where you could just submit all your works and like literally get money from that, and keep tabs on all that money. Make sure that your manager is actually giving you full statements of the revenue, and giving you full statements of the money they've taken from that to invest in the brand that you are. So basically, initially, I feel like most artists are not treating the music business like it is actually a business, and they just treat music. I mean, fine, you get it, you can love music, but at the same time, eventually you want to get to make a living out of music, and you're not able to do that solely because you guys have poor provision of information, number one. Number two, you don't really know what it is to actually have the knowledge that surrounds the music business. So I urge all artists, if you're an artist and you're watching this, you're like, wow, okay, that's really new to me. Go check it out. Check out the revenue societies. Check out how you can actually make money out of these things, And literally, honestly, if you already have management who's doing all these things for you, keep tabs on all these things. We don't like seeing artists telling us that, I got rocked again, my manager did it again, there's another artist, because for me, once I hear the story all over again, it's going to be a whole thing of like, there we go again, another story. What is it now? Like, what just happened? And then all these things, they keep repeating themselves, and we don't get to a point where we just need to treat the music business like it is a business. And yes, we may love music, you may love making your music, but you also need to treat it like a business, because it is so important to you. You want it to be the only thing that you do besides handling business, besides doing all these other things. So initially, I urge all artists to like literally do their research and make sure you keep tabs on your management, make sure you're not getting rocked. You know what I mean? So please, man, we don't like hearing this. As to wrap up the show, I'd like to shout out to Epic Gig. They're hosting something on the 25th of June, which happens to be this Saturday. And initially their lineup is MT, Blackie, Costa Titch, Black Diamond, Demtuda, Cuesta, Mr. Jazik, Bassi, Toxic, Buffalo Soldier, Mickey, Andile Mpisane. That's nice. MFR Souls. Wow, MFR Souls, shout out to that. Yeah, man, quite a lot more Expo. I see Esco as well. I see Steez, I see Swiss, I see Melly, I see Sarnillo, and yeah, man, quite a really nice lineup, and I feel like Epic Gig has really lined up their little production there, and I really feel like that's really nice. That's something they should continue doing, Initially, I'm like really ecstatic. I'm very happy for them. Everyone who's going to Epic Gig, please enjoy. Enjoy safely, stay safe as well. A really dope lineup, by the way, by Epic Gig. It's a lineup that I feel like is really dope, So Epic Gig coming up on the 25th of June, which is like this Saturday, if not this Friday, actually. Let me just check if I'm not giving you guys misinformation, but like I think it has, yes, it's gonna be Saturday, So yeah, and shout out to everyone. By the time this episode is out, that'll be one day before the gig. So shout out to Epic Gig. You guys enjoy yourselves and everything like that. I think this is gonna be a dope lineup to check out. You know what I mean? But initially, I think I'm going to play this game next week. I'm running out of time. It's going to be the ultimate lineup I'm actually going to come up with. I'm actually going to wait for Evolution to confirm the date for their gig as well. I think they've already confirmed where Uncle Vinny was supposed to happen, I think, was it a week ago, if not 2 weeks ago, where Uncle Vinny literally delayed the gig, and he's gonna come. I think if not next week or some other week or some other time. We're yet gonna get the date on that, and we're gonna talk about it next week. We're gonna come up with the ultimate lineup. So keep up with that. If you have suggestions for our ultimate lineup, keep tabs on our Instagram. I think I'm gonna leave a question sticker where you're just gonna leave the artists where you'd really love to see on an ultimate lineup in a gig in the country. You know what I mean? But I guess that has to wrap it up for this week. I think I've been running out solo, and I feel like I wasn't alone. Shout out to you guys if you got this far. And initially, I'd like you to click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get notified next time we drop an episode. And yeah, man, I guess we'll see you next week, same time, same place. My name is Steezy. This has been Focus Fridays. Boom.